First Idaho, now Colorado. Welcome to the show. There has been another mass shooting this Mother's Day in Colorado. 6 people are dead because the alleged gunman after this shooting. There was a mass shooting. But in the U.S., at least 991 died from from mass shootings in this year. But this shooting is still being investigated. And the biggest thing ever is, why are all these mass shootings here? I mean, a Mother's Day mass shooting? There wasn't a Mother's Day mass shooting since I was born. When I was 2, I heard about the Columbine mass shooting. That was the first school shooting ever in my 2 years of this earth. First Colorado, then Sandy Hook, then Idaho, then first the mass shootings, then a school shooting, and now now a Mother's Day shooting here in Colorado where everyone wants to carry a gun, but we need stricter gun laws in every state. Licensing needs to be required. We're not taking everyone's Second Amendment rights, we're just making sure that no one is killing people. But But the issue is that guns can reduce crime. I mean, I focused on this all of yesterday from mass shooting in Idaho on Thursday. But I'm not here talking more about guns. As in saying, I'm still looking into the very latest on this issue. But nothing's being done. 6 people are dead, and nothing else is being happening. But the shooter was the boyfriend of the victims. But that's what you get for... You don't date your people who have guns. Because it's Mother's Day. What we need to make sure that we do is try to understand that violence cannot be solved by problems cannot be solved by guns. Sorry. Sorry about that. It's just... People may say it may not be a big deal to have a gun, but to state laws and others, it is a big deal. But let's get to the very list on COVID-19. I'm not talking anymore about guns. So COVID-19 number, here we go. Nueces County. In Nueces County, we have 42,216, 13 total cases, 3282, and that's probably it. State of Texas, probably in the 40,000. $2.91 million cases, 50,000 deaths, getting close to 51,000. Something needs to be done here. Tests taken, 5.4% have been positive. The cases are big. You need to make sure you follow all these tips. You need to make sure that masks are worn at all times up the nose, not down here nor at the chin. Also, you really need to make sure that you socially distance. So if your school does not allow people to stay within 3 feet, then they're not allowed them to stay within 3 feet. You need to make them stay within 6 feet. Sanitizer every time. Make sure you have the sanitation tools you need. If you don't have any, you need to make sure you get them. Hand sanitizers, Lysol, they always work. Disinfect your area every time. As always, you need to make sure that you always disinfect your area every time. Every time. Even if you're in school. Doesn't take you that much time to just wipe down the desk. Follow the instructions of your teacher. Your teacher says you take out the mask, take out the mask. If not, the mask stays on. Wash your hands every 30 seconds with hot water. Always helps. Same thing goes with restaurant workers. It doesn't matter. If you have a medical condition or your child's under 2 and they cannot not wear a mask, then let them know beforehand. That way everyone can understand. We're trying to keep everyone safe. Numbers are rising because no one cares about masks. Alright. Let's figure out what's going to be coming up next. Next, this virus is surged around India, and what can be done about this? I'm not going to go into a little detail. Why Buck Days Carnival helps relieve the pandemic stress? Why are the vaccination rates dropped because of Mother's Day? And what moms really want for Mother's Day. Imagine if you're feeling stressed because of the pandemic. You want to find somewhere to get away, like a good beach. Well, how about going to Buck Days? If you were in Buck Days the day you were stressed out, you would have seen a lot of people all stressed out because of what's been happening, staying indoors and that kind of stuff. I never get stressed by staying indoors. I always find something to do. And I never get bored. But if you saw this, you would have known that what you would have known is that some people wearing a mask, some people weren't because medical conditions or they don't feel like it. But next year, if you're going to the Buck Days, what you need to make sure you do is wear a mask at all times. No excuses unless you have a medical condition, your child's under 2. Masks are very important. There's a new Amazon facility here in Corpus that everyone's welcome to. That everyone was welcome in Wasted County, so congratulations to that. And during a press conference they announced in the press conference announced on Friday the live stream facility we're building in New West County have Robstown zip code, Interstate 49, Interstate 69, and Highway 44 crossroads located near the Corpus Christi International Airport. That's near the airport. They announced a starting wage workers at $15 an hour and offer benefits. It's created similar facilities across the state, but not brought similar one to Coastal Bend. So that's the very first time, and I'm very happy that everyone Amazon is doing the right thing here, and I hope that it can really be helped out a lot these days. Alright, this war giving break when we return. Stay with us. There was a surge in COVID-19 vaccines dropped last week because of Mother's Day. And since last year, no one's allowed to travel because of the pandemic. But my concern is, if you're going to travel, you need, that's my opinion. This is my opinion, alright? If you are going to travel, you need to make sure you're vaccinated following these tips like I told you about earlier tonight. Because if you don't, bigger things can really be happening here, and a lot is at stake. And what you really don't know is that if you don't, what people really don't know is that all these vaccination rates have been dropped because of what's been happening. Doesn't matter. Which brings us to the Pfizer vaccine. This trial has been introduced in all of kids. So let me play it. But should we be testing COVID vaccines on all children? I think we should. Shouldn't we have a law that mandates all children get the COVID vaccine next year before they return to school? Well, if you think about it, like, we have all shots being required by law. The government says you have to be like all 3 shots before your child enters school. What if they have the 4th shot, the COVID vaccine? What if, I think that would happen. If it happens, then maybe everyone won't get COVID. And we could probably get on with our lives a lot quicker. Get back to the things we love doing, and we can get back to our happy lives. Now, since it is Mother's Day, let's look at the interest in Mother's Day across the U.S. If you live in Texas, you will know that's the most mom-loving state because moms are Texans. I'm proud to be a Texan. My mom's proud to be a Texan. All my family is proud to be a Texan. Period. Let's get to what happened here. I mean, don't you hate all those homeless people camping? Texas has passed a bill that creates misdemeanor for all camping in public states. That's big news to all those campers. The House will wait for final approval, and we will know by then. So if you see someone camping in a public place, you need to make sure that you follow those proper steps. I may have Joe Kramer, who's a member of Take It Back to Bluff and Facebook, to come on here and give you guys some tips and information on what you need to know. I might have him on the show, but I may or may not have him on because of the issue here. But we'll see what happens when we cross that bridge. When that bridge gets crossed or when the ship sails. Now imagine if you're being told to investigate yourself. You told yourself to investigate yourself. That's what happened on Facebook in a riot poll. In a riot poll. So basically it said if you were part of the riot and posted something on Facebook about it, then they're not going to be held accountable for it. Sorry. I don't have allergies, it's just my nose. If you notice a rise in prices for Mother's Day, you will notice the rise of flowers. So, but the flower spend in my research is like 2.3 million. It's been raised to 2.66 this year. Just try to look at that number, and also if you were to find some gift, and if you ran out of gift ideas to find for your mom, flowers ain't just a thing. You've got balloons. But I would think a Nintendo Switch would not be right if you want to teach your parents how to play video games. You can do a Mother's Day meeting. You can do a Mother's Day meeting with your friends. If you're gonna do it out, if you're gonna do it indoors, just make sure if you have a Mother's Day party, make sure that if you do the Mother's Day party this year, just make sure that you follow the COVID tips and making sure that you're following all the tips. Take a family on vacation. You can also. Well, these are just some gift ideas. But partying, the same thing. You need to make sure that you're following all the tips. Seeing the Super Bowl, same thing with like any party. You need to make sure masks are required, social distance is required, have a party outside, all that stuff. I mean, if you hear people say, I'm not concerned about COVID, walk away. Walk away. That's all. Just walk away. They ask why, just ignore. But what my concern is that people don't even care about COVID. No one cares. I care about COVID. I care about what needs to be done. Following tips and all that kind of stuff can get you a lot of help you need. Now, in response to those riots, there's been a decision for Donald Trump's Facebook account. both of Donald Trump's accounts were suspended. His Twitter, Instagram, and I don't think it was Instagram. It was probably Twitter. Facebook account was suspended because of what happened January 6th because of the riots. So yeah, that's what basically happens. I think Donald Trump caused the riots, and I think he should be punished for what he's done. Now, what about the update from that Florida principal who spanked a what about the update? Well, we now know she was suspended. But the mom says she still wants justice for what happened. The whole reason why she didn't give consent. I mean, before you spank, you need to make sure that parents get the consent they need. And in that county right there, it's illegal. The principal should be fired, should face justice for what happened. That's what I think really needs to happen here. The video went viral, principal was fired, and then just today, CNN article said Florida State Attorney says no crime was committed by the principal in the penalty of a 6-year-old. But the Bobinsky argues but many people argue, but the school district is investigating the circumstances wherein the videotape of the child. We now know what happened. Saturday, Bobinsky says his decision not to file criminal charges because it is illegal in that county. That's what needs to happen here. Back in a moment. So what's Florida going to do? Coming up on Wednesday with the very latest on what's been happening in India. As always, this is Give a Break Sunday. I'm off on Monday, so I'll see if you can break Wednesday. Have a good night, everyone. Follow us here at YouTube. Stay safe.